Greetings, everyone. This message is powered by neuromelanin, in the words of the late, great Dick Gregory. When the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses, there's rules to go with them. First rule is you can never take the glasses off. Second rule is you don't see things as you want them to be, you see things as they are. And the third rule is you can't force anybody else to wear those glasses. So I'm glad to be back with you guys today, and thank you for coming to hang out with me just for a little bit. I hope all is well with you guys. Everything with me is pretty good. It's just so cold here where I am. I still haven't been here quite a year yet, so I'm still trying to get used to the environment. It's like in the 20s here, and they're calling for 3 inches of snow tomorrow. So, needless to say, I'm looking for my long johns and everything else, and I do have my my toe socks on. So I'm getting there, y'all. I'm getting there. But there was some information that I wanted to pass on to you. That kind of made me laugh this morning, actually. It was funny as I don't know what, because I think the pale face America has just been bamboozled. They could not wait to put the orange man back in office because they wanted the orange man to make America great again, okay? Which meant they wanted him to continue to oppress us so they can continue to, to prosper. And that's exactly what they thought was going to happen. But the information that I got this morning made me crack up, because every executive order that he signed, every regulation, every policy that he has signed so far is crushing them, is striking them down. But they're too stupid to realize what he's doing. And they're still cheering him on, and he's our savior, and this and that and the other. I don't even think that he knows that that's what he's doing, because he's trying to crush us down too. But it's not really affecting us, it's affecting them. And we know what hard times are. We've always had to struggle. We always figured out how to make a dollar out of 15 cents, okay? So that's nothing new for us. But these pale faces are, they going bananas out there. I've seen some testimonies this morning that just made me shake my head. They living in cars. They can't make rent. They're losing their jobs. All the stuff that's been happening to us for 400 years. So it ain't no thing with us. But it's kind of funny because they jumping out of windows. They jumping in the rivers, and there's a lot of well-to-do people that's losing it all as well. So it's not just the middle class pale faces. It's the millionaires and billionaires. So I know one of the last questions that I asked you guys on the last video was, what was your purpose? Now, I don't know about y'all, but from where I'm sitting, the mental health field might not be a bad field to go into, because they gone. So I'm just saying, that might be something that you might want to look into, because they having breakdowns, they're suicidal. A lot of them just went on and ended it all, because they can't live without money. They gotta have money, and if they don't, they would rather just don't even live anymore. So I was just, when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, I didn't really know how extreme things are, but it is that extreme. The chickens is coming home to roost, and they have basically got the orange man to be their judge, jury, and executioner. and they don't even know that that's what he's doing. He don't know that that's what he's doing. He's striking them down at the same time we're rising at the same time. But see, that's what source, the Most High, that was the plan all along, to just get somebody that was as evil and as wicked as that orange man to do all of that at the same time. And that's exactly what's going on. And I know that y'all have heard, the head is going to be the tail and the tail is going to be the head. Well, that's exactly what's going on right now. That head has been chopped off. And we were the tail, and we are just nicely taking our place up at the head right now. So that, and the other, what's that other saying? Oh, the Most High will make your enemies your footstool. All of that is happening like in real time, because I'm in the Midwest, and I can honestly say that it's not a lot. I mean, I see us out, when you go to Walmart, you see everybody at Walmart. So, but I think the particular area that I am in, I see them scattered here and there. But I'm going to tell you, that life has changed when you see pale faces jumping off the trash trucks. Okay? I don't care if it's, if it's one of us or Hispanics within a 50-mile radius, you're going to see us jumping off them trash trucks. I have never, until I moved here, seen pale faces jump off trash trucks. So that's how I know in real time that this thing is starting to reverse. And over the weekend, I had somebody to knock on my door, which kind of startled me, but it was, it was a white man and his kids out there asking if they could rake up my leaves. I'm like, what kind of Twilight Zone bull stuff is this going on? So when I tell y'all this stuff is happening in real time, it's happening in real time. And it's happening fast. So what probably took years is happening in a month. And what's taking a month is happening in a couple of weeks. And what should be happening in a couple of weeks is happening in a couple of days. When I tell you that thing is going, zoop, zoop, it's turning around just like that. So I'm just telling y'all to just be prepared. Just be prepared. Do everything that we talked about in those other videos. And I don't want to really shine too much of a light on what's happening with them, but it's always good for you to know what's going on with them. But I still want to mainly focus on what we need to be doing, our internal work and everything that we need to do to prepare for when the stuff hit the fan, because stuff is definitely hitting the fan right now, because it's just, that's what it is. Deuteronomy, about all the curses that's going on, that's what we're in right now, is the curses, all the curses that's going on. They knew that they stole our land. They knew that it was wrong, but guess what? They did it anyway. They knew putting us into slavery was wrong. They knew that was wrong, but guess what? They did it anyway. They knew that they was hanging us and raping our mothers and daughters and hanging our husbands and our sons. They knew that was wrong, but you think that stopped them? No, because they did it anyway. And see, now it's payback time. Like I told y'all a few weeks ago, how James Brown was telling us the big payback was coming. And that's what's happening right now, is things are turning, and now all of that evil and all of that wicked, the oppressors will be the oppressed. They are just, that is just that simple. And they have to live through all of that. And so that was just me just passing that information on to just stay out of the way. Continue to work on yourself. The earth has chakras. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned that before. Y'all, it's so much information. It is so much information, and I don't want to. I don't want to spoon feed you, but I want to just hit main points. But it's just so much that I could tell you, but I don't want to twist your cap. But the earth has chakras, and then we have internal chakras, which are our inner energy centers, and our chakras needs to align and harmonize with the earth's chakras. So that's why it's important for us to keep our chakras aligned and balanced. And I know I sound like a broken record, but you guys just don't know how important balancing your chakras and keeping your frequency high, because that's what's gonna get us to that next level, y'all. It's nothing but frequency and energy. High energy keep you high, low energy keeps you low. And I told y'all about that great separation the last time, about how we're going to be divided and separated by our frequency, and that's mainly of your heart chakra. What's in your heart, and it can't be none of all of that junk and gunk that we talked about the last time. Y'all get the picture. Y'all got the idea. I think I got it across to y'all exactly what needs to happen. But I thought that was so funny when I saw that this morning, and I just felt like a little snitch. It's like every time I get a little piece of information, I want to run back and tell y'all, because it is hilarious to just actually see them out there scrambling out there and hollering and screaming and crying about not having enough. We've been hollering about that for 400 years. You think they listen to us? They didn't give a doggone. That's why they put that orange man back in there, so he could continue to oppress us, so they can continue to enjoy stepping on our necks. But it ain't our necks that's being stepped on now. And I bet y'all sleeping real good at night, because I know I am. But they're the ones that's going through it. So all I'm saying is continue to work on yourself. Continue to go deep inside, because this is a process that you can't fake. And I know that there's a lot of people who are going to try to circumvent things, and they think that if they speak the lingo and they throw a few buzzwords out there. But honey, when I tell you source don't play, and these bodies, it's technology. These are just not regular, just skin and bone. We got crystals in our brains. And we was talking about the electricity a couple of messages ago, how we have neurons, electrons, protons. All of that is in our bodies. We have codes. We are encrypted. We got all kinds of stuff going on in these avatars. They're just not regular, just flesh and blood. We got all kinds of stuff going on in these bodies. So I'm telling you that they can tell exactly what's going on, because we have a blueprint. Everybody has a blueprint. They know what you're thinking. They know what you said and didn't say. They know everything. What you meant, what you didn't mean. They know everything. They know the grimy stuff you did in the 6th grade. They know the grimy stuff you did last week. So I'm saying it is nothing that the Most High, and the higher power and source does not know. It's nothing that the source doesn't know. So what I'm saying is, clean it up. This is the time to do that. So that is my message for you guys. So if I'm going to keep my ear to the grindstone, and whatever other information that I find that's going to elevate us and keep this thing pushing, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So thank you guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.